Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire, remains one of history's most polarizing figures. Revered by some as a unifying leader and reviled by others as a ruthless conqueror, his legacy is as complex as it is significant. By examining his life, conquests, and impact on world history, today we will aim to answer the enduring question: was Genghis Khan a hero or a villain? Genghis Khan, born Temujin in 1162, united the Mongol tribes and established one of the largest contiguous empires in history. Stretching from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe, his conquests reshaped the political and cultural landscapes of Eurasia. At their peak, the Mongols controlled between 11 and 12 million contiguous square miles, an area about the size of Africa. Genghis Khan's early life was marked by hardship and struggle. He was only 10 when his father was murdered. His family was left destitute and ostracized by their tribe. As a young boy, Temujin faced numerous challenges, including being captured by rival tribes and his wife getting kidnapped. Through a series of strategic alliances and decisive battles, he rose to power and succeeded in unifying the Mongol tribes. Genghis Khan's unification of the Mongolian tribes ended centuries of internecine warfare and brought stability to the region. His leadership created a sense of national identity and unity that laid the foundation for the Mongol Empire. In 1206, Temujin was proclaimed Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler, at a Kurultai, which was a council of Mongol chiefs. This marked the beginning of his campaigns to expand his territory beyond Mongolia. He organized his warriors into units of tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. This reorganization created a highly disciplined and effective fighting force, breaking down traditional tribal affiliations and fostering unity among his troops. Unlike traditional Mongol leaders who relied on aristocratic lineage, Temujin promoted individuals based on merit and loyalty. This practice earned him the loyalty of many skilled and capable warriors, regardless of their tribal origins. He revolutionized Mongol warfare with innovative tactics, such as the use of mobility, psychological warfare, and intelligence gathering. He employed strategies like feigned retreats to lure enemies into ambushes and used speed and surprise to his advantage. His first significant campaign was against the Western Xia dynasty in northwestern China. By 1210, Genghis Khan had subdued the Xia, forcing them to pay tribute. The Mongols then turned their attention to the Jin dynasty in northern China. By 1215, they captured the Jin capital, Zhengdu, which is modern-day Beijing. This campaign was followed by the conflict with the Khwarezmian Empire, which began when a trade caravan sent by Genghis Khan was attacked and the merchants were killed. Genghis Khan sought revenge, launching a massive invasion in 1219. The Khwarezmian Empire was a prominent Persianate Sunni Muslim state that existed in Central Asia, primarily in the region corresponding to modern-day Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Kazakhstan. The Mongols captured key cities like Bukhara, Samarkand, and Nishapur with brutal efficiency. The invasion was marked by widespread destruction and massacre, with millions of people killed and entire cities razed. After defeating the Khwarezmian Empire, Genghis Khan sent an expeditionary force led by Generals Subutai and Jebe to explore the western regions. This force moved into the Caucasus, defeating various local tribes and engaging in skirmishes with the Georgian kingdom and the Cumans. The Cumans, who were the nomadic people living north of the Black Sea, sought assistance from the Rus' principalities after being defeated by the Mongols. They persuaded the Rus' princes to form a coalition to confront the Mongol threat. In 1223, a Mongol reconnaissance force defeated a coalition of Kievan Rus' princes at the Battle of the Kalka River. All these invasions caused a lot of bloodshed. The Mongols were brutal. The invasion of the Khwarezmian Empire is one of the most devastating campaigns attributed to Genghis Khan. Cities such as Bukhara, Samarkand, and Nishapur faced widespread slaughter and destruction. Persian historian Juvayni claimed that 1.6 million people were killed in the city of Nishapur alone. Reportedly, in Nishapur, the Mongols piled up the skulls of the dead as a grim display of their power and to instill fear in other cities. Genghis Khan's campaigns against the Western Xia and Jin dynasties in China also resulted in significant casualties. The protracted sieges and battles, combined with the Mongols' policy of terror, led to large-scale deaths among both soldiers and civilians. The Tangut Kingdom had defied Genghis Khan multiple times, and in 1227 he ordered its complete annihilation. The Mongols destroyed the capital, killed the emperor, and massacred the population. The Tangut culture and language were effectively wiped out as a result. The Mongol invasion of Kiev and Rus, which included the sacking of major cities like Kiev, led to substantial loss of life. The Mongols used a systematic method of killing, where each soldier was assigned a specific number of people to execute. They were known to use captives as human shields during sieges. They also employed biological warfare by catapulting diseased bodies into besieged cities to spread plague and fear. While it is challenging to determine an exact number, the consensus among historians is that Genghis Khan's conquests resulted in the deaths in the range of 20 to 40 million people. In 2011, a study led by Julia Pongratz at the Carnegie Institution's Department of Global Ecology suggested that the Mongol invasions might have led to a temporary reduction in atmospheric CO2 levels. The researchers estimated that the reforestation of abandoned farmland could have absorbed around 700 million tons of carbon from the atmosphere. The conquests of Genghis Khan and his successors led to the destruction of numerous famous structures across Asia and parts of Europe. The famous library and academic centers of Nishapur were destroyed. Bukhara, a major cultural and commercial center on the Silk Road, was captured in 1220. The city's mosques, libraries, and other significant structures suffered extensive damage. The Juma Mosque, a key religious site, was desecrated, and many books and scholarly works were lost. Samarkand, another prominent city in Central Asia, was besieged and captured by the Mongols in 1220. The city's fortifications were destroyed, and many of its buildings, including mosques, palaces, and educational institutions, were damaged or demolished. The city of Bamiyan in Afghanistan, known for its giant Buddha statues and Buddhist monasteries, was attacked by the Mongols in 1221. In retaliation for the city's resistance, Genghis Khan ordered the destruction of the Buddhas of Bamiyan, although the full extent of the damage to the statues occurred later in 2001 by the Taliban. These are just a few examples. The destruction of many of such cities and structures resulted in the loss of countless cultural, religious, and scholarly treasures. Libraries, manuscripts, and artifacts that were central to the heritage of various civilizations were irreparably lost. All these killing and large-scale destruction does make him a villain. Apart from this, there is one more aspect of his life that portrays him in a negative light, and that was his sex life. Genghis Khan's sex life is a subject of significant historical intrigue and speculation. He lived in a society where polygamy was common, especially among the elite. His first and primary wife, Berta, was the most significant. They were married when Genghis Khan was still known as Temujin, and she bore him 4 sons: Jochi, Chagatai, Ogadei, and Tolui. In addition to Berta, Genghis Khan had numerous other wives and concubines. Genghis Khan's conquests were marked by widespread violence, including sexual violence. Captured women were often taken as concubines or forced into marriages. It is estimated that Genghis Khan fathered many children, though the exact number remains unknown. A 2003 genetic study found that approximately 16 million men in regions of the former Mongol Empire carry a Y chromosome lineage. That can be traced back to a common ancestor around the time of Genghis Khan. That is approximately 0.5% of the world's male population. Genghis Khan effect is a term that refers to the widespread genetic footprint left by Genghis Khan and his male descendants. Now that we have a fair bit of idea on why he is considered a villain, let's try to understand why he is considered a hero. In fact, in Mongolia, Genghis Khan is revered as a national hero and symbol of unity. Mongolia used to be a Soviet satellite state. During the period of Soviet governance in the 20th century, simply referring to his name was prohibited. Aiming to eradicate any signs of Mongolian patriotism, the Soviets sought to erase the Khan's legacy by omitting his narrative from school textbooks and prohibiting pilgrimage to his birthplace in Kenti. Genghis Khan was later reinstated in Mongolian historical records following the country's independence in the early 1990s, and he has since been a frequent theme in art and popular culture. The Great Khan lends his name to the Mongolia's main airport in the city of Ulaanbaatar, and his portrait even appears on Mongolian currency. Despite the brutality of his conquests, Genghis Khan's reign also had significant positive effects on the development of global civilization. His policies promoted cultural exchange, economic integration, and legal reform, leaving a lasting legacy that extended far beyond his empire's borders. One of Genghis Khan's most notable achievements was the establishment of the Silk Road as a secure trade route. The Mongol Empire's vast network facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies between East and West. This era of increased connectivity contributed to the spread of knowledge, including advances in medicine, science, and technology. This period of relative peace under Mongol rule, which allowed for the free flow of goods, ideas, and people along the Silk Road, was called the Pax Mongolica. Genghis Khan implemented a series of legal and administrative reforms that helped maintain order and stability within his empire. The Yasa, a legal code based on Mongol customary law, provided a framework for justice and governance. It emphasized meritocracy, religious tolerance, and the protection of property rights. principles that were progressive for their time and influenced subsequent legal systems in Eurasia. Genghis Khan's policy of religious tolerance allowed diverse religious communities to coexist peacefully within his empire. He promoted meritocratic administration that rewarded talent regardless of ethnic or social background. This was evident in how he managed his military as well. In recent years, historians have undertaken a more nuanced reassessment of Genghis Khan's legacy. Scholars emphasize the need to understand his actions within the context of the time and the norms of medieval warfare. The era was marked by endemic warfare, tribal conflicts, and geopolitical rivalries across Eurasia. Genghis Khan's rise to power and subsequent conquests must be viewed against the backdrop of this chaos and instability. Genghis Khan's impact on world history is profound and far-reaching. His conquests reshaped the geopolitical landscape of Eurasia, laying the groundwork for the rise of successor states and influencing the course of history for centuries to come. Genghis Khan's eldest son Jochi was given command over the westernmost part of the empire. Although Jochi died before Genghis Khan, his descendants founded the Golden Horde, which ruled over Russia and parts of Eastern Europe for centuries. Batu Khan, Jochi's son, expanded Mongol rule into Eastern Europe, leading the invasions of Russia, Poland, and Hungary. Berk, another son of Jochi, is notable for converting to Islam and establishing the Golden Horde as a Muslim state. His reign marked the beginning of the Islamic influence in the region, which had lasting effects on the cultural and religious landscape of Russia and Central Asia. Chagatai, the second son, inherited the central part of the empire, which came to be known as the Chagatai Khanate. This Khanate covered much of Central Asia, including present-day Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and parts of Afghanistan. The Chagatai Khanate served as a cultural and commercial bridge between East and West. Genghis Khan's third son, Ogadai, was chosen as his successor and became the Great Khan, overseeing the entire Mongol Empire. Under Ogadai's leadership, the empire expanded significantly, including the conquest of the Jin dynasty in China and major parts of the Khwarezmian Empire. Hulagu Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan through Tolui, founded the Ilkhanate in Persia. After leading a devastating campaign against the Abbasid Caliphate, including the sack of Baghdad in 1258. The Ilkhanate controlled much of modern-day Iran, Iraq, and parts of Turkey, serving as a significant cultural and political entity in the region. It was instrumental in the cultural and scientific renaissance in the Muslim world, particularly in Persia. Kublai Khan, another grandson of Genghis Khan through Tolui, founded the Yuan dynasty in China after successfully conquering the Song dynasty. Kublai moved the capital to what is now Beijing and established a Chinese-style administration, becoming the first non-Han emperor to rule all of China. The Yuan dynasty marked a period of significant cultural and economic exchange between East and West. Genghis Khan died in 1227 during a campaign against the Western Xia. The exact cause of his death remains a mystery, with various accounts suggesting different possibilities, including injuries from a fall or an assassination. The mystery surrounding the final resting place of Genghis Khan is one of the most enduring enigmas in history. The location of his tomb remains elusive, shrouded in legend and speculation. According to historical accounts, Genghis Khan was buried in secrecy to prevent his enemies from desecrating his remains. Legend has it that his funeral procession killed anyone who crossed its path to ensure the secrecy of his burial site. The question of whether Genghis Khan was a hero or a villain does not have a simple answer. His legacy is a complex interplay of achievement and atrocity, innovation and destruction. Genghis Khan's impact on history is undeniable, and his story serves as a reminder of the multifaceted nature of human leadership and the enduring consequences of power. So what do you think of Genghis Khan? Was he a hero or a villain? Let me know in the comments. That brings us to the end of the video. Alive and Curious is a new channel and would love to have your support. So if you like what I say and do, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. See you in the next one.